Get free tech advice for your business from O2 Gurus. Search O2 Business for more. Hey guys, welcome to BTech. I'm Basil. This is a Sony Xperia Z5 Compact. Compact by name, compact by box size. This is the dinkiest little box I've seen in a very long time, but it houses a mighty beast. The Z5 Compact has a virtually flagship spec in spite of its boxable form factor. Now let's take a look around the box. Front, you can see a picture of the product itself. It says we've got the white one on the front, as in the color of the box image is white, but we actually have the yellow one. Yeah, that makes me irrationally happy. You've also got the name of the product and the brand. There isn't really much down at the base aside from the fact we've got the yellow one. It does say demo only, not for sale, so that could suggest the box contents may vary with final retail packaging, but this should be the final box at the very least. Up at the top, nothing of interest. On the flip side, Sony tends to put the key information there. You can see 4K video recording, triluminous display tech for mobile, in addition to high-res audio, PlayStation Remote Play, fingerprint scanner, and a Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 under the hood paired with 2 GB of RAM on this model. You can also see XMOR RS for mobile, and that pertains to the camera sensor. New camera sensor on here, 23 megapixels, 4.6-inch 720p display, 2700 milliamp battery that Sony says will last up to 2 days. Well, we're going to be the judges of that. 64-bit octa-core processor, IP65 and 68 water resistant, and microSD expandable, in addition to that 32 gig under the hood. Speaking of under the hood, let's take a look. Give it a bit of a shake and hopefully it will drop any moment now. And yep, indeed, we have got the yellow version. That's the exact model that I was pining after. So I can take it out. I'm going to peel away the plastic in a second, but before I do, I'm going to just take a quick gander inside the box. It feels incredibly light, which leads me to believe, this is not final retail. We know from region to region it may vary in terms of headphones and the like, but you will at the very least be getting a power brick and a USB connector. What we can take a look at is the little amount of literature that is in here, which includes a quick indication that that's not representative of what's going to happen in all markets and countries, like we kind of just said, and a startup guide. So let's open that out very quickly, and then we can get on to what you're really after the box. So you can see, very simple startup guide. Nothing too crazy, just inserting all the key SD cards and whatnot. Also, another interesting thing, Sony doesn't really tout this thing as being something it suggests you take underwater in spite of the IP certification. So comments, fire away, see what you think of that. In the meantime, I'm going to show you the boot up screen. Easily one of the longest boot screens I've ever experienced. It took around 2 or 3 minutes at the very least. Either way, we're done now, so I can peel off some plastic on the front, and there's also a sheet around the back. And we can talk you around the phone. I am going to set this one up for you as well. Right hand side, you can see that power button which doubles up as a fingerprint scanner. You have a volume rocker and a camera button too. The power button is situated right slap bang in the middle. The volume rocker and power button feel a little bit lower than is natural, but it'll be interesting to see if we get used to that. In the left hand, actually, the last 2 fingers kind of press it a little bit more naturally than the thumb does in the right hand. It really has to go low to press the volume button. Either way, down at the base you've got an exposed micro USB connector. Left hand side you've got a set of slots for, I think it's the SIM and micro SD card slot. If we close that up, ensuring it's completely sealed, Up at the top, 3.5mm jack, while round the back is that camera, that new 23 megapixel sensor, flash, Sony insignia, and there's an NFC contact point as well. Yeah, this 4.6-inch display is also bookended by stereo speakers. Speaking of the display, we did a comparison against a few other key displays, and this one did incredibly well. So it's a decent quality panel, 323 pixels per inch or thereabouts, and in addition you've got a nice high resolution 5 megapixel front camera. In case you're wondering how it stacks up size wise to the iPhone 6 6S. This is the iPhone 6S. This is the Sony Xperia Z5 Compact. In spite of the fact the screens are virtually identical sizes, 4.7 versus 4.6, the iPhone 6S has a much larger surface area, though it is also significantly thinner. It looks like it's virtually half the thickness, camera bump not included. Right, so now I can quickly talk you around setup. Obviously not going to enter my personal details in here, but what I am going to do is I am going to enter my fingerprint so that you can see exactly, do this later, exactly how the setup process is. So just sign in, skip, ready to go. Finished. So that's your home screen setup, exactly how it would look if you didn't make any changes. Interesting that you've got applications like Amazon pre-installed. Other bloatware or additional applications include Kobo books, but Sony's always been historically really good with letting you uninstall that. So you can see pretty much all of the applications, AVG, Kobo, Spotify, Dropbox, you can indeed uninstall, which is ace. If we want to jump into the fingerprint management, can do so through the settings, scroll down to security and fingerprint management. Get started, set pin. I'll choose 0000, next 0000, next, and now I can set a fingerprint. So the sensor's located on the right hand side, right there. Can bring that closer into frame, and you can see all I do is press it again, press it again, press it again, and just keep pressing until I have filled up that circle. Done. And that's that. You don't even need to enter it more than once. So if I was to lock the phone, you can see none of the other fingerprints of fingers work, but if I got my right hand thumb, it unlocked it pretty nice and easily. Try that again, but this time just press it. And it's a very natural unlocking mechanism. Again, like I said, really looking forward to seeing exactly how that copes with real world use, whether like older fingerprint scanners, it kind of forgets your fingerprint after time, and indeed whether this position is convenient for left and right-handed use as well. Other key elements within the phone that we haven't really covered too much, it's got 4G, Wi-Fi, NFC, all the standard connectivity features. That Snapdragon 810 paired with a 2 gig of RAM really does pretty much keep it up there with the flagship, so you should be able to handle any games on here. The stereo front firing speakers are nice and loud. We did a comparison, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Nothing else of note that we can say at this point. The review will be coming in the next couple of weeks, as well a whole bunch of videos. Like I said, we've got the iPhone 6S in, so if you do have any questions, want to know how anything in particular stacks up against the finest from Apple, let us know. Thanks for watching BTech. microSD and a micro SIM slot. So this is going to be expandable by 200 gigabytes, which is mightily impressive. 32 gig onboard memory, 3.5mm headphone jack. This is going to also be compatible with a set of headphones that Sony's going to be releasing, which allows for both digital noise cancellation and high resolution audio, all at the same time. Around the back, it's a new camera sensor, 23 megapixels. What's really awesome about this is that it combines a new focus system with a range of other things to make it a